Transformers of Eternia.
You're watching Transformers of Eternia. Now today I have the Masters of the Universe Origins Modulok. And I'm going to open this thing up and start going through it and kind of figuring out the different things that you have to do with this figure and everything. But yeah, I have Modulok finally. But before I do that, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And thank you for checking out my channel. Now back to the show. Okay, so now that I have Modulok in my hand, finally, let's take a look at Modulok. So let's open this up. I think I already cut the side open. And also look at the box. Let's take a look at the box. Just for the glory of how wonderful this thing looks. I mean, look at that. That is so cool. You got She-Ra in the background or whatever. Anyway, and you got all these characters. You got the actual, I mean, look at that. What's the name of that? I think Rock-On or Stone-Dar. Anyway, and then you got the female Rock character. I don't know what she's called. I can't remember offhand. Anyway, and you get the Scorpion character. I don't know a lot of these characters because I didn't follow Princess of Power completely. I know She-Ra, Adora, I guess, and then the Horde Troopers. I love the Horde. The Horde is my thing. Okay, the Horde is always my thing. But yeah, you get all this battle going on in the background, and then you get Modulok right up front, right there, and clearly he's not a Filmation style version. He's actually the original version with the Y neck thing, which I'm not a big fan of, but whatever. Anyway, because the Y neck thing actually drives me nuts, because if you actually look at the box that this gets shipped in, they actually did what I wanted in the box. Look at that. Look at that. He's got two heads on a torso. That looks great. This, not so much. This looks like a mangled mess. I understand that's what they did in the original toy, but I mean, look at the difference. I think this looks actually cooler. This art is actually really cool. And I don't know why Mattel didn't just do this, because they already have the too bad mold, so they could have easily just used that too bad torso or something like it anyway, and then they could have just done Modulok that way. And then they could have, well, I guess they would have had to include another torso just in case you want one head or something. But I could see why they did that. I think it's kind of to save money, because then all you have to do is include the double neck thing. So anyway, the box art looks great, always looks great. Mattel always nails it with this art. So that's the one thing I always gotta give them credit for, because the art is always so good on these things. Anyway, look at that artwork. You get all the different variations that you can do. I mean, I'm kind of boring, so my variation that I'm going to do is probably going to be closer to what you see on the back of the box. Anyway, but yeah, you get my variation that I like is probably this one here the most, I think. All these other ones are a little weird, so I'm not really into those. But yeah, and you can see them right there. That's the more human version of him with two heads and the Y neck. That's what I call it. Anyway, and then you get this other back, more alternative versions or whatever that you can have. Goofy. Some of these are really goofy looking. But anyway, but yeah, then you get the back, obviously. So that all being said, let's open the box, because that's what we really are here for. So let's open this up. If I can get it open. How do I get this open? I untaped it so it could open. Okay, there we go. And then look at that. You get this right there. Right on the side, you get all the parts. You get to see all the parts that this thing has in the box, I guess. Includes 34 body parts. Wow, that's quite a bit. Okay, and then you can see all these pins. I don't know how these work, honestly. I hope I'm not going to get confused. So anyway, we'll see what happens here. So let's open this up. This is the first time I actually have taken this out. I untaped it and everything, but that's it. So this is what you're going to get. Okay, so this is what you get. I don't know why it's like flip-flopping back and forth. But anyway, this is what you get when you get them out. I'm just kind of holding it there because it's going to fall. Okay, so now that he's fallen and he can't get up, this is what you get. Okay, so I'm going to have to hold this because it's like bowing in the middle. So this is what the parts are, everything that you get in this actual box, which is quite a bit. This is the reason why I had no problem paying $55 for this guy. I could have swore I would have had to pay more, honestly. But yeah, this is what you get, and this is very, very much worth $55. If this was like the Hasbro, if Hasbro was doing this and this was a Transformer, this would be like $100. They'd call this a Commander class or something like that. So for them to give us this for like, what was it, $30 in normally? Anyway, and then they marked it up for like $55 on eBay, which is actually a reasonable price. So for me to be able to get this for that price, I just think that's actually reasonable. So I'm not complaining. And maybe someday, Big Bad Toy Store will actually ship my other one so I can have that one as well. But let's get to this now. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have a lot of little things to cut out. All right, guys, I did my variation or my version of what I want Modulok to be like for this, for my shelf or whatever. You can do it all. You can take all the different parts and make it however you want. You can make Modulok look any way you want, because whatever way you want is the best way, because that's how being a fan works. So Modulok having all these parts basically makes him like the most versatile character I've ever seen in my life. Now, keep in mind, I have never actually owned a Modulok as a kid growing up, ever, not ever. I don't even think I seen this guy in the store, honestly, when I was a kid. Me as an adult now, being able to collect these things, getting Modulok is like unbelievably cool for me. I don't really think he looks the greatest with the Y neck or whatever. That does kind of drive me nuts. I wish he had a double-headed torso like Too Bad. But other than that, that's my like only complaint, because this is the most quality. I am actually happy. I think I spent less than I should have for this character. Now that I've got this off eBay for $55, I'm actually thinking that this thing is like $100 figure. The quality here is amazing. You get all these, now you're going to have to, you get all these these pegs or whatever that you can get. Like, they gave you so many. They gave you so many. So you literally can take these things out and do whatever you want. And this is the little guide or whatever, telling you what to do with these whatever pegs or whatever you want to call them. Anyway, these ball sockets. So you can do a lot. I mean, there is a lot to do. So this is what your instructions kind of shows you how to do it. And they basically leave it up to you. They don't even tell you what to do, really. They just tell you, hey, you can use this as like a tool to pull out the pegs, because they're really stuck in there. You have to actually hurt your hand to shove them in, because it's nice and snug, which is actually a good sign of a quality toy, that the joints are nice and snug. But yeah, you can use this as a shield, yes. But you can also use this as a tool to unpeg those little ball sockets, which is a very smart idea from Mattel, on Mattel's part. And this thing, you can see all the Hordak, the bat symbol and stuff. I love that. Anyway, I wish they would have painted it black or something. But anyway, the bats or something, or this whole thing should be black and then the bats should be red. Whatever. It's beside the point. So what I would advise right away, if you get this figure, is get yourself one of these. Get yourself a plastic bag that you can, because this is like, I live by these. I put a lot of extra parts in these bags and put them in a drawer somewhere with all the Masters of the Universe accessories and stuff, so I don't lose them. So I would advise right away, when you get this figure, and once you get your figure set up the way you want him, definitely put all these things into this bag. Or, well, the shield, I guess you could I don't know, he's got two hands that he can grab onto stuff, so you can't really put the shield on here very easily. Anyway, I'm not worried about the shield thing, but I'm going to consider that a tool. But yeah, what I would do is take all this stuff and put it into a bag like this and seal that up nice and tight. So you're not going to lose all these parts, because there is a lot of parts. Luckily, this is all that I used a lot of parts for this. So most of the parts, there's not many extra parts. But this is definitely going to get saved in a drawer with Masters of the Universe accessories and stuff. So I'm just letting everyone know that that's what my plan is. I would advise it for you too. But now looking at Modulok, let's get this out of here now that we got them assembled and everything. Okay, so now looking at Modulok, I put these. I put the peg holder thing here. I'm going to aim this down. Anyway, so I put the peg holder, like these things, on, which was actually really hard to do, because when he's got 6 legs, it's really hard to get him to stand on all of them equally. So you have to do a lot of posing and bending and twisting and turning. Anyway, and like this stuff here is tight back here. Like these joints are very tight. And putting these legs on in these pegs, you really have to actually push. I thought I was going to break something, but it's like a rubbery kind of a joint. So it's actually nice that it actually doesn't break. So I put a lot of pressure on to get it to this point, and it works. But yeah, everything bends and moves really well. I mean, this is really cool. Like this is really cool. I mean, this is like the best version of the Origins line, because this literally gives you all the options that you ever dreamed of in the Origins line. Like, this is what you wanted. You wanted to be able to make your own character. Well, this is the epitome of make your own character. Like, I mean, obviously Modulok was like this originally in the toy line, so we know that that's kind of part of it. But I'm pretty sure that Modulok was the idea behind the Origins line, when they put all these joints in and all this stuff and made it totally more posable than the original figures. I'm pretty sure that they were thinking of Modulok in the beginning, because he's able, because you're able to literally take the arms out of Masters of the Universe figures and switch it and move it whatever you want. Well, they never really used that very often, other than maybe putting the armor on these figures. And I'm going to bring in some other figures just to compare. Anyway, but yeah, so, and these are some, like Ram Man I recently got. This guy. Anyway, and here's Hordak, because you got to have a Hordak in there somewhere. Anyway, well, this is the cartoon filmation version, but yeah, it's Hordak. Anyway, I have other Origins figures though, but I better aim this up, because I don't want people complaining and saying everything's cut off. Anyway, so yeah, and then let's put She-Ra in here, just because we have to have She-Ra. This is the best She-Ra ever. This is like my favorite She-Ra of all time. I probably should have done a review of her, but this is the best She-Ra of all time. Even better than the one that came out for the Masterverse, because this is the right size to fit in with this line. That's the reason why it's the best one. And it looks just perfect. She's gorgeous. She looks great. Everything looks good. Anyway, so gushing aside, yeah, this is what he looks like next to other figures. I hate to say it, but he is a Masters of the Universe cartoon collection figure. But I say that as a side, that he is also an Origins figure. Like, he fits in, because I think that they were doing this on purpose, because they're making him a bigger figure, which is very smart, because this guy should be a bigger, more imposing figure, I think. So I got the Horde Troopers from the Origins line right here, and you can see that they're shorter than him. He's bigger. I mean, it's just, I don't know what to say. He looks great. Like, this is how he should be. I like him to be more bigger and more imposing. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So I'm just going to bring in a He-Man from the Origins line just to kind of compare, because this is obviously smaller. So let's bring in He-Man from the Origins line, and you can see, let's move aside all these other characters here. Anyway, and you can see that Origins He-Man is smaller. But that being said, you also get filmation or cartoon collection version of He-Man, and he is smaller, which is very cool that they actually made a bigger figure finally. And you can see Hordak is smaller, which is very cool. I mean, this is just really cool. And you can see obviously She-Ra is smaller. So I like what they're doing here. I like the fact that he's bigger. I like the fact that this thing is like, what, $30 if you can get them for the regular price. And this comes with so many things that it's like unbelievable that they're giving you so much stuff for your money. And like I said, I bought this thing off eBay just to get one right away because I was worried that I'm not going to get my Big Bad Toy Store one to ship ever. So I got this and I'm like, man, $55 is what I paid for it. I can't say that enough because this is worth $55 and I don't feel like I lost any money. I feel like I actually underspent, which is pretty amazing for an Origins figure or a cartoon collection figure or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, this is very, very cool. I am gushing. This is my first time ever owning a Modulok figure. And of course, I'm a huge Horde fan. So the Horde members are always my favorite, like, villains of all the Masters of the Universe. So I just absolutely love the Horde. And for me to have the, like, amazing, I guess the most iconic, well, it's not the most iconic, but the most versatile Horde member of all time is amazing to have. I can't stop gushing with this guy so much. I mean, because let's put Hordak in here because Hordak is cool no matter what version he is. I still love Hordak. Anyway, tell what you think about this in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe, and thank you for watching.